It is the 24th of November today and the weather isn't great. As you can see, there's drips falling from the roof. It's raining slightly, but as you can see over here, me and my dad finished this part of the roof so far. So now we have a very pretty little triangle shaped roof that covers this firewood and the entrance of the shed. The idea of it is, like, later when it starts snowing more, we'll park the snow machine over here. That way it will be free from snow whenever we need to plow some snow. So I'm pretty happy with having this part of the roof done as far as it is. We are as well gonna put metal sheets like this on top of there, but the firewood is already dry, which is nice, especially when the weather is like this. We haven't done much more work on the carport. It's still the way it is. We're waiting for the weather to become better before we can actually tighten the tarp on it. But let me show you. This here looks like shit. We've been digging a hole right here because underneath that little table is a old tree trunk. And this entire area is higher than the rest of the garden. It's a little bit of a bump. I know it's hard to see on the camera, but it's a little bit of a bump. And we want to get rid of that bump. But underneath this guy here, let me take it away. You can be right there for now. There's this giant rock. It's in the way, especially if we want to get rid of this bump. And as you see, I've been digging around it a lot. It's a big rock. It's way too big to move by hand. And even our neighbors with their big machinery can't get rid of that. So first I was like, dang it, we're just gonna have to live with that rock over there. But then one of my friends mentioned something. They called it issprengning, which is actually a pretty smart idea. So the idea is we drill some holes in that rock, fill those holes up with water, and during the winter, when it's gonna start freezing, that water is gonna expand when changing into ice, and might it crack up this rock. So the plan for today is to get out the drill some holes, and fill them with water before it starts freezing again, and hopefully it will help us get rid of that rock, or at least break it up in smaller pieces that we are able to take away. Now, as you can see, there's some coal and some ash on it. That's because yesterday it was freezing when my dad and I were building this roof, and we built a fire on top of it, hoping to give it a temperature shock and maybe make some cracks in it already. But for now, I am gonna get out the drill and start drilling some holes in it. So I've been drilling these holes for a little bit. Anyway, first off, let me show you this. Oh gosh, we got some pieces off just because of the fire we did yesterday while it was freezing outside. So I guess the top layer of this rock was already frozen, and me putting a fire on top of it made it crack up. So we already got a few centimeters off, which is perfect. But something more interesting, let me show you. So I've been drilling this top hole, right? And every once in a while I use some water to cool down the drill bit. But if I put water down this hole, I'm gonna fill it up. There you see. The water runs away. Which is amazing. You know what that means? That means that there's cracks in this rock, and the water that I put in that hole is gonna seep into all those little cracks. And that means that this rock is gonna be saturated with water, and when it starts freezing next time, that water will expand and crack the rock even more. So I'm gonna fill this hole with water until it doesn't take any more water, and then I'm gonna keep drilling and keep adding water, because that is exactly what we want. We want as much water in this rock as possible, and I am filling it with more water than fits in this little hole. You saw it go down, which means it's spreading into the rest of the rock. Perfect, perfect. All right, I'm gonna go back to drilling, on with the mouth guard and the air protectors, and let's continue the work. I don't know where the water is going. I filled it with 3 of these bottles now, and this is, what is it, 1.5 liters? So I filled it with 4.5 liters of water now, and it keeps going. I'm wondering if there's maybe just a hole in the rock or something, that it just goes into the earth. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think of something else. I'll be right back. There you go. I'm just feeding it with the garden hose. It's not flowing very fast, but as you can see, as soon as I take it away, the water level still drops. So I'm just gonna keep feeding it with water until it doesn't take any water anymore. And meanwhile, I'm gonna drill a second hole. The fire did more damage than I thought it would have. So this just, it kept getting more water and water. But let me get a hammer. I mean, that has already worked pretty well. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Yeah, we're gonna have to do more fires on top of this rock when it's freezing out, because that works perfectly. Well, there you go. I drilled some holes in it, filled it with water, and then hit it a couple of times with my braking iron. I don't think the braking iron is gonna break off any piece of this red granite, but I'm hoping that me hitting it will make some micro fractures in it, into which the water will go, and then when it starts freezing again, the water will expand and break up the rock. So yeah, now it's just waiting until the frost comes again, and right now it's starting to rain, so I'm going inside. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is a few days later since the last clip you just saw, and I'm having a very strange evening. I just got done from work, and I was going to get a package. Um, the package usually gets delivered to a friendo. A friendo is a store that is at gas stations, so there would be a store like that. And the usual store where we get our packages didn't have my package. I had to drive to a completely different city. Yeah, like to get to the usual place, I already had to drive half an hour from my home. From work, it was just 50 minutes more, but you know, doesn't really matter. But then from the place where I thought I could get my package to here was 40 minutes more driving. And that's just stupid. That's so far away from home to get my package. I might as well have gone to the store to get it myself. But the reason why that happened is because, hold on, let me fix this and I'll be right back. So the reason why I had to go from my usual store to pick up my package all the way to this one is because apparently the owner of the store I usually get my package from has disappeared. Yeah, the person has disappeared. He's no longer answering any of his phone calls, no longer responding to emails. This person is just gone. I say he, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but yeah. This person just seems to have disappeared. So they are no longer sending packages to that location. The employees have no idea where this person is. They are not sure if they're still gonna get a salary, so they're closing the place down. Weird, very strange. Anyway, that was just a little bit of an in-between. I'm gonna drive back home, and luckily I have my package here. I am not gonna show you guys yet what the package is, because it has to do with the sponsorship for the next video, or the video after that, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, stay tuned, subscribe if you don't want to miss that sponsorship, because there's some cool stuff in there. Anyway, let's continue with this video after this. Well, here I am, finally home after a very long drive. From the moment I left work to the moment I got home, where I had to drive to 2 different cities to get my package. 2 different cities, 1 package. It took me 2 hours to get home. 2 hours! That's crazy. Anyway, this is the end of this video. Whenever I know more about the rock and if it breaks down when it starts freezing outside again, I will let you know, because I'm very curious myself. And otherwise, I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye! Oh, and if you are still watching, maybe don't Google why chainsaws were invented. Don't do it. I told you, don't do it.
Make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next vlog, and don't forget to subscribe.
Still recording.
I've been doing fine. I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the